The following audio was recovered from a hard drive found in a burned-out storage locker near Seattle, Washington. The owner could not be found.
I can feel the moon behind the clouds.
Superstition is such an odd duck, completely fabricated by our ancient ancestors as a response to our inability to control the forces that dictate whether we see another sunrise. We stared at the sky, the cruel idiosyncrasies in each other, and nature's bounty of colors surrounding us, looking for reasons why the entire universe seems so eager to wipe us out. Now, the concepts are hard-coded into our DNA, impossible to remove without a complete reformatting of the species. We have artificial sunrises now, and a mathematical equation for every color, but the original operating system is still underneath it all. Abstract pattern recognition. 4 means death, 13 attracts the devil, and with the power of 3, we can remain safe and whole. But 1 is the loneliest number, it's so dumb. And here I am, sitting in an airplane, one of our greatest middle fingers to the gods, in row 14 of course. There is no row 13, except there is, and I'm sitting in it. But the label is the thing, right? We've just decided collectively that the devil isn't allowed on our plane, and we will defy basic arithmetic to make it true. I'm sure these are the things that everyone thinks about while trapped on a 4-hour flight, staring into a horizon far below where you're supposed to be seeing it. Because the shaking metal holding you in the sky is too distracting for your mind or stomach to focus on anything else. I sip in my weak ginger ale, a root well known for its energizing and warding properties, good for the mind, the body, and the chakras. Although, I can't imagine there's much ginger actually in the can. But at least it's a distraction from the sky. I'm not going to panic. I'm not going to panic. I have my ginger. I'm in row 14, not 13. We hold on to our outdated programming because it is familiar comfort. Often, the most rational thing a person can do is to irrationally filter out all of the constant peril surrounding them and trust that mankind's various innovations silently set in motion will see them through. Giving in to the panic will only let the devil in. The devil, in this case, is a stand-in for hysteria. A hysterical person is a danger to everyone around them. Our ancestors weren't idiots. They were just doing the best they could with the data available. And a calm, misinformed tribe was the best that they could hope for until more data could be gathered. Like that axiom about the first day of college is discovering that everything you learned in high school was simplistic bullshit. The sky outside the tiny, scratched-up window is dark now. Heavy clouds and introspection let nightfall sneak in. Not that it should matter. The night itself never killed anyone. There are no stars yet, but a dull glow hugs the low cloud cover where I presume the moon is watching. It's supposed to be full tonight. I expected it would be a lot brighter up here. Hysteria, lunacy, the Greeks coined these words out of fear. They observed obvious recurring cycles that clearly affected us, but we didn't understand how. Fear only amplified these cycles' seemingly irrational effects. So millennia ago, we logically concluded, shun the messenger, and haven't looked at ladies, the moon, or the ocean the same way since. The Chinese see a lucky rabbit in the moon. So do a lot of indigenous Americans. Europe was a lot more paranoid. My French ancestors saw a ravenous wolf constantly hounding the sun. That devil again. I was born under a full moon, so you'd think that the sight would give me more comfort, but 3 ginger ales in, all I need to do is pee. I make my way to the aisle on unsteady legs, wobbling from nerves and tingling from inactivity. The bathroom is thankfully unoccupied, but I almost don't go inside. A large gash has been made along the left edge of the small industrial mirror over a flimsy plastic sink. Enough of the material is missing to make a prison shiv. Another ill omen. At the very least of the poor repair standard of the airline. At least I didn't break it. I don't think. And staring into my fractured reflection, I sit down, enjoying the illusion of isolation from my fellow economy class travelers. Vampires don't like mirrors because they used to be lined with silver, a metal associated with the moon and various gods of protection. So, a broken mirror is a lot like an open back door, or smudging a gap into your salt circle. But I'm not a vampire, and honestly, the idea of both fearing the full moon and relying on it for protection just goes to show how much we were just flinging everything at the wall and seeing what stuck. Those wordy Greeks made an earnest attempt to square this, though, by claiming that Just as the moon's weight moved the tides of the ocean, it also sloshed around the blood inside a person's brain, leaching away the essential waters that allowed a man to think, and exposing the unreasoning beast inside us all. That's where we get werewolves. But that's also complete nonsense. The brain doesn't even have any blood in it, and men are perfectly capable of being monsters without the permission of our great shiny space rock. I know this, and I'm screaming anyway, because doubt has finally crept in. The devil is here. I've become two separate beings, Scully and Mulder. A person doing their best to hold all of their blood inside their brains. Millennia of software updates and patch notes calmly stating that, in maybe an hour, everything will be fine. In fact, based on countless statistics and case studies, it is fine now. A wolf, darting about, dragging an unwilling passenger by the short hairs and violently lashing out as it desperately seeks some refuge from this unnatural situation that it has woken up into. This was supposed to be a vacation, away from all my family's nonsense and ancient paranoia, proof that I'm not trapped, but it's impossible to be free. I can't ignore the math, or the reflected glow of the moon through the walls, or the raging anxiety focusing into talons about to burst out of me, or the follicles raising up on the back of my neck and radiating down my spine. We aren't supposed to fly. We were supposed to hide in our caves until the wolves and devils go away. And when the wolves live inside of you, you're supposed to bury yourself even deeper. Bared teeth clench harder as the silver metal under my feet jerk violently, and the space between my ears scream even louder, almost too loud for me to hear the fastened seatbelt chime go off in the passenger corridor. It's just a pressure shift. The plane has begun its descent, the person yells, trying to calm the wolf. But already there are fists pounding on the tiny door, and more screams. Generations of ancestral memories quietly murmuring, "I told you so." Several more shards of the mirror have disappeared now, and the door is opened. The wolf is getting its way. We have flown beyond the clouds now, and the face of the moon stares boldly in through the row of tiny windows like a prowler judging the quality of their neighborhood's evening wear. I've lost mine somewhere. I lurch back to my seat, feeling the stale, recirculated air on my suddenly exposed back. Fellow passengers have stopped pretending to ignore me, and the air stewards, with forced pleasance in their face, are approaching from both ends of the aisle. The person inside me just wants this all to be over. Sit down, we're close to making it. Just watch a cartoon until it's done. But the wolf can't be healed. It will choose fight and flight, the most basic operating system that we have. I feel hands on my body, and I think I break some of them. Then the metal under me shifts again, or maybe just my legs. My inner ear has reached its tolerance, and I can't see the moon anymore or anything else as foggy darkness collides with my face. All I can sense is the smell of urine and fried ozone. The wolf is still growling. But at least everything finally seems still.